For a lot of people, life in the US, Canada, and Western Europe isn't getting better. It's actually getting harder to justify. The rent, the stress, the isolation, the sense that no matter how hard you work, you're still stuck in a place that doesn't feel like yours. But more people are starting to quietly opt out. They're moving to places with lower costs, better weather, more time, and most importantly, more life. In this video, we're going to show you 7 countries that offer exactly that, and why more people are choosing them in 2025. So if you've ever wondered what it might actually look like to live somewhere better, stick around. You might realize this isn't as far-fetched as it seems. Number 7, Mexico. If you've ever thought about leaving, Mexico is probably the easiest place to start. You don't need a visa. You don't need to figure out your life a year in advance. If you're from the US, Canada, or most of Europe, you can stay for up to 180 days with no paperwork. You just book a flight and go. And if you end up wanting to stay longer, qualifying for Mexico's temporary resident permit is relatively straightforward, especially if you earn a few $1,000s a month or have decent savings. You only need to apply once, and it can be renewed for up to 4 years. After that, you just switch to permanent residency. Rent is lower. Great food is everywhere. You walk more. You spend less. And for once, you're not constantly doing the math on whether you can afford to enjoy your day. You're not escaping. You're just getting to live a little better. Mexico isn't one size fits all. The country is huge, and cities are completely different from each other. So you can choose the kind of life you want. If you're looking for a big, vibrant city with great food, walkable neighborhoods, fast internet, and culture everywhere you turn, Mexico City might be the right fit. If you're looking for something slower paced, smaller, and more grounded in tradition, cities like Oaxaca or Mérida offer a quieter lifestyle with a strong sense of local community. If you prefer the beach, sun, and an active expat crowd, Playa del Carmen or Puerto Escondido might make more sense for you. In many of these places, you can live well on $1,500 to $2,000 a month. And that usually includes rent, groceries, going out, even things like a gym or cleaning service. Spanish helps, but you don't need to be fluent. You'll pick it up naturally just by living here. And learning it makes things easier and more enjoyable. It's one of the most useful languages in the world, and this is one of the easiest places to learn it. Another reason people choose Mexico is the proximity. If you're moving from the US or Canada, you're in a similar time zone. You can work your normal hours, fly home easily, and stay connected. But life around you feels totally different. So if you're looking for a real change but don't want to overthink it, Mexico is a no-brainer. Number 6, Portugal. For most Europeans, Portugal is pretty much a no-brainer. But even if you're from the US, Canada, or Australia, it's one of the rare entry points into Europe you can get without too much hassle. Yes, you can live here legally, long-term. It also allows you to travel freely throughout the European Union. And you can do it all while spending less every month. Take Sarah, for example. She was living in Seattle, paying $2,200 a month for a small apartment, working the same job she has now. She moved to Lisbon and now pays €950 for a place twice the size, with a view of the river and a bakery downstairs. Same job, different life. The D8 visa lets you stay for up to 5 years with a potential path to permanent residency. To qualify, you need to show remote income of around €3,300 per month and private health insurance. And once you're in, the benefits are real. Transit is clean and efficient. Healthcare is affordable and reliable. Food is fresh and inexpensive. You don't need a car. You don't need to spend a fortune to enjoy your life. Life is more social. You're outside more. You can take the train to another city, or even another country, on a whim. You start to live better because the country makes it that easy. And yes, learning Portuguese helps. Not because you need it for survival, but because it makes the whole experience richer. It's the difference between just passing through and actually settling in. Sarah didn't change jobs. She didn't start earning more money. She just moved somewhere that let her keep more of it and gave her a life she actually enjoys outside of work. Portugal offers one of the rarest combinations: European access, real lifestyle improvements, and a simple legal path to stay long-term. For a lot of people, it's not just a better place to live. It's a better way to live. Number 5, Thailand. Alex used to work freelancing from his apartment in Toronto. He wasn't struggling to find decent gigs, but outside of work, things didn't seem ideal. Rent kept soaring. Winter lasted half the year, and somehow his bank account was always low, even though he wasn't splurging by any means. So he moved to Chiang Mai. Same work, same number of hours, but everything else changed. Now, Alex pays $600 a month for a fully furnished luxury apartment with air conditioning and amenities like a rooftop pool, gym, and sauna. The kind of place that would easily cost more than $3,000 back home. His breakfast is usually $2 to $3. A coffee shop with stable internet is always 5 minutes away. When work's done, he walks to the night market for dinner. On weekends, he rides his scooter to the mountains or books a $40 flight to the islands. He's spending significantly less to live significantly better. Thailand makes this easy. If you're from the US, Canada, or most of Europe, you get 60 days visa-free. Extend it once for another 30. And if you want to stay long-term, Thailand now offers the Destination Thailand Visa, a 5-year multiple entry visa for remote workers with around $15,000 in savings and proof of monthly income. This means that you're not in visa limbo, as it used to be for most people in the past. You're not forced to bounce between countries. You can actually settle in. Healthcare is modern and cheap. A private doctor visit costs around $30. English is widely spoken in city centers. And while you don't need to speak Thai, learning a little does open doors. People will notice. And it starts to feel even more like home. Best of all, Alex didn't have to change anything. He didn't change careers. He didn't get rich. He just cut down his expenses by half and lives better than he ever has. Thailand gave him space, unreal food, warm weather, amazing people, less pressure. And for a lot of remote workers, that's all it takes to start feeling like life makes sense again. Number 4, Georgia. Georgia is one of the few countries that offers something most remote workers don't even realize they need: time. Not just a better cost of living, but a full year to live there legally, with no paperwork, no visa runs, and no catch. If you're from the US, Canada, the UK, or most of Europe, you can stay in Georgia for up to 365 days visa-free. That's practically unheard of when it comes to visa-free stays in any country around the world. And it gives you space to actually settle in without feeling rushed. Tbilisi, the capital, has become a remote worker hub in its own way. Fast internet, low costs, co-working spaces, a growing creative scene, and a pace that feels slower, but not stagnant. You can rent a 1-bedroom apartment for $400 to $700 in a central neighborhood. Add groceries, co-working, eating out, and transit. And many remote workers live comfortably on $1,200 to $1,500 a month. Take Matt, for example. He arrived planning to stay 3 months to save some money and reset. That was 2 years ago. He's still in Tbilisi, still working the same job, but says he finally feels like his life fits his income. Georgia works because it doesn't demand much. It doesn't feel like a performance. The city is walkable. People are warm. You start to feel known by your neighborhood. The country doesn't constantly ask you to prove yourself. And while English isn't spoken everywhere, it's enough to get by. And you pick up what you need naturally. This isn't a flashy destination. But for remote workers who are overwhelmed by expensive cities and anxious about overstaying visas, Georgia offers something rare: legal breathing room, low pressure, and just enough structure to let you figure things out. Number 3, Colombia. If you're looking for energy, affordability, and easy legal entry, Colombia is one of the most underrated countries on this list. Medellin, Bogota, Cartagena have all become remote worker hotspots in recent years. But Colombia still isn't oversaturated. It's livable, affordable, and full of life, not just tourism. Colombia's digital Nomad visa is valid for up to 2 years and only requires proof of income around $684 a month. Let that sink in. Most countries ask for 3 or 4 times that, if not more. Colombia makes it possible to live legally, even if you're a newer freelancer or on a modest income. In Medellin, you can rent a modern 1-bedroom apartment in a safe, central neighborhood for $600 to $900. Groceries and restaurants are cheap. Co-working spaces are everywhere. Many remote workers live well on $1,200 to $1,800 a month. Take Laura, for example. She left London during a cold winter and landed in Medellin to try something new. Within a month, she'd found a furnished apartment, joined a Spanish class, and cut her cost of living in half, without even changing jobs. The quality of life here surprises people. Spring weather year-round, good infrastructure in major cities, cafes and co-working spaces that make it easy to stay productive, and a strong expat and local social scene that makes it easy to connect. Colombia is also one of the best places in the world to learn or improve your Spanish. The accent is clear, neutral, and easy to follow, especially in Medellin and Bogota. You don't need to be fluent to get by, but making the effort adds real depth to your experience here. It opens up conversations, genuine friendships, and parts of the country that most short-term visitors never access. For remote workers who want more than just a cheaper apartment, Colombia offers something bigger: connection, vibrancy, and the chance to build a new rhythm of life, all while learning a new language. Number 2. Vietnam. Vietnam doesn't get as much attention as Thailand or Bali, but for remote workers, it's a solid contender for the most practical and affordable places to build a better life. Take Daniel. He was living in Chicago, working 50-hour weeks from his apartment, spending nearly $3,000 a month just to stay afloat. He moved to Da Nang for a reset. Today, he pays $600 for a modern apartment near the beach, works the same hours, and says he finally feels like he has room to think. That's the shift Vietnam offers. In cities like Ho Chi Minh, Da Nang, and Hanoi, you'll find fast Wi-Fi, co-working spaces, and everything you need to live and work comfortably. And it's all a fraction of what you'd pay in the West. A solid apartment costs $400 to $700. Meals out are $2 to $4. Coffee shops with decent Wi-Fi are everywhere. Most remote workers live well on $1,000 to $1,500 a month, with no corners cut. And while visa rules in Vietnam change often, most Western passport holders can now apply for a 90-day e-visa online. It's simple, low cost, and renewable. For longer stays, many expats work with agencies that help with renewals or extended stay options. The real surprise is how much easier life feels here. The difference between scraping by and actually thriving is massive. You can afford help for almost anything: a weekly cleaner, laundry service, a gym membership with personal trainer. Groceries are cheap. Eating out is normal because it's actually cheaper. Fresh, healthy, and organic food is everywhere. You say yes more, spend less, and stop thinking about money all the time. You stop feeling like you're falling behind and start feeling like you're finally in control. Number 1. Spain. Spain isn't the cheapest country on this list, but it might be the most complete. It gives remote workers what most other countries don't: long-term structure, a realistic legal path to stay, and a quality of life that actually makes it worth settling down. The digital Nomad visa is straightforward. You need to show at least 2,800 euros per month in remote income, basic health insurance, and a clean record. Once approved, you get 1 year, with the option to renew annually for up to 5. After that, there's the possibility of applying for permanent residency. That means you're not living on borrowed time. You're not doing visa runs. You're not keeping one foot out the door. And what do you get for staying? A country where daily life really feels like a life. Public healthcare is reliable and affordable. Groceries are cheap, fresh, and local. You can walk almost everywhere. Trains run across the country. Parks are full. And even in cities, people take their time. In cities like Valencia, Malaga, or Seville, you can rent a clean, well-located apartment for 900 to 1,200 euros. A meal out might cost 10 euros. Public transit is under 2 euros. Take Leo, for example. He left Vancouver after realizing his entire income was disappearing into rent, bills, and groceries. Most of his days felt cold and isolating. Now, he lives in sunny Valencia. He walks everywhere, has more space, and says the biggest difference isn't just the savings, it's the rhythm of daily life. He works from a quiet cafe or his balcony, picks up lunch for under 10 euros, and often ends his day by the beach with friends. He's still working full-time, but the pressure around it is gone. Every day just feels a bit more like summer holidays. Spain isn't just affordable, it's sustainable. And for remote workers who want more than just another place to hide out for 90 days, this is where you stop drifting and actually build a life you want to keep. If you've been feeling like something isn't working anymore, where you live, how much you're spending, how isolated your day-to-day feels, you're not alone. A lot of people are quietly realizing that the way we're expected to live in the West just doesn't make sense anymore. The good news is you don't have to settle for it. There are real, accessible countries where you can work remotely, live better, spend less, and finally have some breathing room. None of them are perfect, but all of them are possible. Whether you want sunshine, structure, community, or a total reset, there's a place out there that fits your values and your goals. The first step is to know your options. From there, it's about exploring what fits, your pace, your priorities, your idea of what a good life looks like. If this video helped you think differently, consider subscribing. This channel is built for people like you, smart, intentional, and ready to build something better. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.